Hello there folks, it is SeKo Starcraft here, speeding up a replay just slightly. It's game number 1 of the finals of the Gonzy Community Cup number 14. epikfaal's our protoss player up against Sjors down here in the bottom left. Part of the same clan, same team, so these guys know each other, they've played with each other a whole bunch of times. So it's exciting to get them in the finals. 2 Masters level players, so this is an amateur tournament, but these aren't amateur guys. Lots of skill and quality here. And we're going to see that if my puppy cannot kick my recording equipment out once again as I'm going through this game, we'll make it a lot easier to make sure it's all happening. Last game I just recorded it all and then happened to get the mic kicked out. Brand new puppy, just got it a couple weeks ago. German Shepherd. We'll see if I can get it on webcam here and maybe the next time I cast live. Most adorable little thing ever, but just not that. It's still pretty clumsy, I guess is what you can say. It has a tough time just jumping onto couches and not falling on itself. Limbs and stuff a little bit too big for the body that it's at right now. But anyways, we did have an expand before a pool. Once again, these guys know each other pretty well, so maybe epikfaal is not somebody who likes to cannon rush too much. Not too worried about doing that on this map. We'll come here and scout the timing, see when the pool is coming down. And on the other side, it looks like it's just going to be a classic cybernetic score expand. We'll be going down to that nexus here pretty soon. Overlords moving out to different spots. I was going to say a tip for some people. I saw it a lot in this tournament as well. On this map, if you have trouble against protoss, this spot right in here and this spot right down here is where they seem to always hide pylons. So very worth checking those out. Just super common. Probe looks like it's just going to go and check for any. Yeah, it's just going to go on patrol move, looking for the timing of the third base. Very important to see when that goes down, particularly if you don't see it go down. If you don't see it go down, then it's just weird, and sometimes it means that they're actually going to be, hitting you with some sort of 2-base push. Doing a little bit of dancing with the Overlord, why not? When it spins around fast enough, it almost looks like the legs are dreadlocks on like a Rastafarian head. Anyways, enjoying myself some juniper berry mild summer lager. It's been quite a mild summer right now up here in Canada. Not a lot of great weather. It's been raining essentially for a couple of weeks. And in between that, dealing with my puppy and getting a new office for my company and everything else, it's been pretty tough on time. So glad I had a chance to do a little bit of live casting this last weekend. And then be able to get some of these games up for my channel for this weekend. One person still left in gas. Speed is on the way. Speed very important. I like the idea of going for a ling heavy strategy for holding off early game protoss. Take that map control, look for pylons, deny when the protoss units are in low numbers. Just about every attack from the protoss starts with just a handful of units on a warp in. If you can take care of that early enough on, what you'll find is that you can shut down their attacks really quickly. Pylon sneaky hiding over here. Probably drop a pylon really soon. We see more gateways going up. He's up to 4 gates right now with a robo on the way. So it might be like a 5 or 6 gate timing. Try to hit it with 2 bases. 2-base protoss play is just so common right now. It is the epitome of normal as it is. And it's so interesting how powerful protoss can be on 2-base timings. Right now we see it's still just on 1 gas. Zerg player is still just on 1 gas. And it doesn't look like he's interested in taking roaches anytime really soon either. Ling Hydra is becoming a really popular strategy, using the lings in the really early game, hydras into the mid game, and then move into whatever your composition desires in the late game. The only difficulty is picking which upgrade path you want to take, because obviously hydras and zerglings will take a different attack upgrade. 12 zerglings on the way, sees the timing of this pylon and knows an attack is on the way. Mothership core is down here to support a warp in of about 4 zealots. Want to come in and just want to try to cancel this base now that it's just finished up. There were observers in these games while I was casting them live, so you'll see a little bit of banter at the bottom. Really wants to get that pylon. He knows that there's nothing else here. It's a bit of a surround on some of these units, but it's just not a very efficient trade. Zerglings are getting cut through really fast here. And still doesn't quite get that pylon. Got the pylon. It might have made a little bit more sense, but he still threw away a lot of zerglings and didn't get a lot done for it. He does have 1-1 on the way, whereas the protoss has no interest in any upgrades in the near future. Does have Immortal starting to chug out the back. Got supply blocked pretty heavy for a moment there. Zerglings will get a nice surround. Queens did try to get the mothership core, but it will warp him out of there really soon. Might have been able to draw it in a bit further, but likely would have gotten saved one way or the other. Now the problem for the Zerg player is all these Zerglings are essentially useless. These are all drones that didn't happen, tech that didn't happen, and so he's got to find something to do with them. But there's pretty, closed off at the front here. One force field will handle it. He does have a mothership core with a photon overcharge, and this is one of the really smart things Protoss players can do, is use that recall to go and put some pressure on the few units, force the Zerg player to really produce a ton of units. As we can see, he's actually down on workers at the moment. He'll get in the lead in a second here. But just, he can force the Zerg player into a position where they obviously don't want to be. Does get a run by. Maybe doing stop position in the mineral line might have been a little bit more effective. Wanted to get on top of the sentries, but I think he only manages to get one. Immortal's already starting to clobber things up. Working just fine. So another big pile of Zerglings got thrown away there, and he's down by over 20 supply at the moment. Really tough spot to be in. Yes, he's taken a slight economy lead, but he doesn't really have that great tech out that's going to help him. Starting a hydras den right now. Seems a little bit delayed. This push is going to be coming out here very soon. 3 Immortals, very powerful, even without upgrades. Another 4 gateways going down, so we got an 8 gate with a warp prism about to join up with this. Making some pylons in advance, wants to keep his supply up and ahead. And we'll see what the Protoss can do. This is essentially just going to be a nice big 2-base push. Zerg player knows that there's no 3rd base yet, so all he has to do is hold on. So we see him making nothing but units right now. We'll see if that's going to be enough. With all these speedlings, I think it'd have been nice to just dance around with the army further up the map. Force out a few force fields earlier on. Does get that probe, but I mean there's so many different warp in points, it's not going to matter too much. Desperation spine crawlers. Spine crawlers never make as fast as you think they're going to make when you need them down. They will help if they can get up in time. And it looks like the Protoss player is just delaying enough. These might get up to help out. Immortals obviously just crunch away on buildings. Zerglings and Hydras. Zerglings are +1/+1, so they are being fairly effective. Hydras just have the +1 armor though. Mothership core will go down, but tons of the Zerglings got shredded up at the front. Sentries had to be very careful. Another pretty good round of force fields. Does cordon those off, pulls the sentries back. Very smart move. They have a shorter range, so they just gravitate towards the front of the fight. Spine crawlers poking people in the face. It looks like Sjors really doesn't want to give up this base though. I think it'd be more worthwhile for him to sack that base and just regroup. Oh, there's a drop in the main right now as well. And there's the GG. Warp Prism. Very smart attack. Great play out of epikfaal. If he just smashed him with an Immortal push, that would have seemed kind of lame. But also going for the Zealot warp in. Very smart. Fun strategy. SeKo Starcraft. Game number 1 to epikfaal.